Hey guys, it's Nate, aka TheFutAccountant. Welcome back to the channel. It is almost that time, guys. We are just over 1 week away from one of the most exciting times on this game, Black Friday. But it's not the next promo. Even though we do know what is coming this Friday, hint, it's not going to be that exciting. We're looking ahead already to what is Black Friday going to bring to FC26 this year. We're going to be talking about that because even this far ahead of time, we need to be wary of something that happens every year right around this time, and that is the Black Friday market crash as people prepare for that big promo by selling their cards ahead of time. And we'll see. It's not really starting yet, but it could, and we're going to talk about that in today's video and how you can prepare even this early on for the Black Friday promo that is going to be coming soon. Let's discuss it all, guys. If you're excited for the video, drop a thumbs up on it, hype the video, and subscribe if you are new. Now, yesterday's Monday content is what we'll start off with, and it was slow as expected. We did not have, unfortunately, the first player pick SBC of the year. We have an 80 plus times 2, which actually is cheaper than the 79 times 2 that EA had been releasing consistently on Mondays for the last few weeks. It's only 5 rares instead of 6. You turn into 1 common gold and you get 2 80 plus players. Honestly, it's not that bad. Better than the 79 times 2, but it's not quite a player pick. I still don't understand why EA doesn't let us rinse our common golds into something instead of just rares or 5 rares and 1 common here, but it is what it is. I'll do a few of these. I was getting some decent 82s, 3s, and 4s, and honestly, those help in the 85 to 7 upgrades, and those help for other small, cheaper SBCs, so I will do a couple of those SBCs each day, I think, as I get gold rares. Now, the other SBC we had yesterday that was of note was the brand new Wendy Renard flashback card, and this one's coming in at a price of 69,000 coins. It's not that crazy expensive, but it does look like a pretty good card. She's got 77 pace, which some may think is a little bit low, but she has anticipate plus 89 defense, and she does have other good playstyles too, like jockey, slide tackle, aerial, long ball, and precision header. No intercept, which maybe you'd like to see. No aerial, but she's not short like a lot of other women's center backs cards are. She's 6'2". This is arguably the most usable women's center back item in the game. And for the price of 69,000 coins, 84, 85, 85. It is doable, in my opinion. It's downvoted on Footbin, as you can see here, but honestly, that's an SBC that if you need a French center back, I would not look past. It is a very solid card, and she has the Anticipate Plus. I mean, you could think of it this way. We had to pay 100,000 coins for the center back Evo that was released this last Friday. This one is not that expensive, and she still has the Anticipate Plus. So there was that from yesterday's content as well. I still absolutely love the card design of the flashbacks, but I'm kind of not sure if I'm going to do that SBC for myself at the moment. I don't really need the French links, and I have some other decent center backs already, and I'm going to do Davinson Sanchez for a couple of Galatasaray links that I'm looking forward to as well. Anyways, the other SBC we had yesterday was the final Continental Completionist Objective SBC, and that is the Asia and Oceania upgrade. I think this is the best value out of all of the ones that have dropped so far. Not because the packs in here are very good, because they're not. It's because you get 2 players from the Completionist Objective, one of which I think is maybe the second best card out of all these. Of course, that gets you the Lee Kang-in from this objective and Irvine. So you get 2 cards for doing 8 SBCs where you just have to turn in some golds and some silvers. Not bad at all. I mean, Irvine plays in the Bundesliga. Of course, PSG for Lee Kang-in. Both of those are decent, solid cards. I'm still probably going to chip away at this through the time that it's out, 10 days left. It's just so unfortunate that the Shesko SBC was so much, requiring those 85 rated squads, because with Africa, Americas, and Asia and Oceania, I can blitz through those with my club, or maybe having to open up a couple of the daily bronze, silver, and golds for a few more days to get the rest of the cards to get this one done. It's just unfortunate, man, because I would love this captain's consumable item there, but that Shesko SBC, the Europe portion of that completionist, is just way too expensive. So that is a okay SBC from yesterday if you're trying to just do one section of it and not do the whole thing, or if you're chipping away at the whole thing, GG's for that grind as well. This is the last part of content from yesterday. It was a slow day, like we said. We have another women's center back here, Alex Greenwood, but this is more than just a card. By the way, her card does look pretty solid if you would like another English defender. She can play left back and left mid as well, I do believe. So decent card there. But you get 1,500 SP for the group reward, 500 SP for this singular reward, an 81 double, and you get this Iron Guard Evo. Now, this is actually, if you did not start the left back Evo from on Sunday, this is a really good Evo to chain with that. It gives a max 84 rated left back, fullback plus, and bruiser. Most importantly, the bruiser playstyle can be added. So for a Ferland Mendy Evo chain or for an Alphonso Davies, you could put bruiser on the card before getting the quick step and the jockey and then the slide tackle plus from that other evolution, the 30,000 coin one from the weekend. So this is actually a really nice chain opportunity that we have here with that evolution for Iron Guard. Again, it's for left backs only though, not right backs. So if you're evoing somebody that's a right back through that evo, you would not be able to chain that one. But that was the content yesterday. The only other thing of note is that Sorloth got his upgrade +2 up to 87 rated. I actually used him in a little bit of Foot Champs gameplay, and he was very strong and actually had some pretty good finishes as advertised. So that's the upgrade there for Sorloth. Fun card. We love the showdowns. I was still hoping there was going to be more showdowns for some of the other international games that are incoming later on, like today and through the rest of the week. I guess there's only a couple days left of that, but it doesn't look like we're going to be getting any as of right now. And that's where the news starts, guys. After yesterday's slow day of content, there were some rumblings that were beginning about the promo that's coming this Friday, which we've already had some hints about in-game. If you've seen the tournaments, right? This kind of gave us some detail about what's coming next. But even after that, since we're so close to Black Friday on this game, some of the rumors about that promo and what that is going to mean for this game started to come up. Now, let's start with chronologically what's going to happen first, and that is the FC Pro Live promo is the next promo. Now, this promo is starting to kind of get a reputation of it being a dead promo, let's be honest. And it kind of is. Like, does EA want to drop a crazy promo right before one of the most exciting weekends on the year? If you've not been watching the YouTube channel for a long time, one of the things that we talk about every single year is the hills and the valleys of the content, right? Sometimes this game has incredible content, things are going great, and then other times comes back down, right? It's not like constant, insane content all the time. It's a bumpy road sometimes, and this is one of those promos, along with Captains, you could argue, right now that we're in, where it's kind of like content slowing down right before Black Friday, and the great content's going to be coming out. Now, this promo is not just a complete pushover, because if you like the trade, obviously like I do, this is a promo with incredible profit potential because these are live cards based on the Pro FC players that will be playing at the FC Pro events. They'll represent each one of these cards. Like a pro will represent the player, and then depending on how many goals they score, depending on how many points they get in the table, and how far they progress in the pro tournament, these cards in game will get upgraded. Now, this is a nice graphic actually that ASY Foot Trader tweeted yesterday about some of the content we had last year during FC Pro Live. I mean, that Talisca SBC was solid, but the Sasha Bowie, I forgot about that card. He was an incredible SBC card. He got some upgrades, and that's really the hype of this promo. The hype is that it is a live and upgrading promo in a different aspect, and it is kind of fun. Usually there's some viewership rewards there, but it also doesn't seem to be like it's going to be that crazy of a promo this year because of the fact that it's right before Black Friday. Last year, we had an icon on this day, icon Jabi Alonso 2. We had a weekend league objective for that Felix, if you remember him, a moments card, and a couple of other SBCs. So that was the FC Pro Live promo last year. I would imagine that it would be similar this year, and that's probably what I would be looking out for in terms of the leaks starting today. Because content's really slow, I'm sure the leakers are starting to get information about what this FC Pro promo is going to look like. We already have a tournament that's scheduled here in game for us as well, the Pro Open tournament, and then completing this qualifies you for the Ultimate Pro tournament, but it looks like they come out at the exact same time this Friday. So that's very interesting. Looks like EA is going to drop some sort of tournament for us to kind of maybe emulate the tournament that the pros are going to be playing. So that's the next promo. And while it doesn't seem super hype, we're already starting to look ahead. And that's really the reason why we're starting to look ahead, because the next promo doesn't look that crazy. Now, this tweet yesterday kind of told us the obvious, right? We had seen the leaks that FC Pro Live was this Friday, but Footstray have confirmed that Thunderstruck, which is now kind of our marquee promo we've seen for the last couple of years on Black Friday, is going to be the promo we see once again this year during the big weekend of Black Friday. This is one of the biggest weekends of the years, guys. This was the team last year, not just because of the players that are in packs. It's so much more than that, right? It's all the Flash Evos, the Flash SBCs that we had. This year, we're probably going to have some sort of tournaments and live events related to Thunderstruck and the promo. Now, back to these cards, the Thunderstruck cards. These were live and upgrading items that some of them even had games to upgrade their card on the same night that they were released in game on Black Friday, and then some of them had games the next day on Saturday and Sunday. It was incredible for that. They were the first promo icons of the year last year during this promo, as well as, of course, the huge best of re-release, which is something that we have to watch out very careful for every year, which means some of these Festival Football Captains cards and some of the other cards that we have been buying and selling consistently, like the Prime Times, some of the Scream cards, some of these could get re-released in packs very soon again, and that's one of the reasons why the market drops off. We're going to talk about that in a second, but this is a big promo. Usually it's a boost to the power curve as well. Remember, one of the things that EA said this summer when we asked them about the slower power curve this year was they wanted it to be slower rises, but then at big marquee promos like this, you see a much more noticeable boost in the card, so a step up in that power curve. We would expect to see that with this Black Friday promo. But the Flash SBCs and the Evos are probably one of the biggest things here. I'll touch on that one more time in a second. This might be the card design. This is a previous year's card design on the left with Gyökeres. This is what Exo FIFA has tweeted out. I mean, he's comparing the two designs. I don't know if this is official or if this is a concept. Looks pretty dope. If it's going to be the official one, I would watch Twitter for some more official news related to that, because I think we might start learning about the Thunderstruck Black Friday promo around the same time as FC Pro, because they're going to have to be adding in a whole bunch of stuff for that promo for sure. Now, some of the other content we had last year during Black Friday, just to kind of give you an idea of how crazy it is. This Cruyff, this Cruyff, the one that I did as an SBC that I evoed all the way through the end of the game. He was such an incredible card. He was dropped on Black Friday last year. Remember the Vinny Jr. Player of the Month? That's not necessarily something that's Black Friday related, because Player of the Months aren't. But that Vinny Jr. Player of the Month was dropped. There were so many crazy SBCs last year, Flash SBCs, and probably the biggest thing were the Flash Evos. Now, this is a picture of the Flash Evos during Winter Wildcards. But remember, like the Hunter, Sentinel, and Artist, the Evos would give you the stat boost of the name of the chemistry style. So like a Hunter Evo gave pace, shooting, it gave the playstyle rapid and power shot. Oh, they were incredible. These Evos were probably single-handedly the best part of the Black Friday promo last year and of Thunderstruck. They were absolutely wild. So that's just a piece of what is to come with the Black Friday promo. We don't have a lot of official leaks yet. Remember last year even we had this mode mastery swaps system. Everybody wants icon swaps or some sort of token grind to come back into this game. Last year we had it, right? Remember these cards that we would get from squad battles, foot champs, and rivals rewards that we would have to collect, and either one, if you packed a good one, decide whether or not you wanted to put it into one of these mode mastery swaps packs or swaps choices, or two, keep it, right? Because I packed that Witzel card and he was pretty good. We were talking about some of these cards in the stream yesterday. The Fabian Schär was a really, really good card from inside of here. You had a Welbeck card there. I forget her name. We were talking about it on stream. Andrea Jacinto. Her card was insane with the long ball pass plus. But most of these you ended up turning into these mode mastery packs. And just for a second, take a look at these packs. These were rewards, by the way, last year that we had during Black Friday. We had a 88 plus base icon pick. We had an 85 by 20. We haven't seen packs even close to that in objectives or SBCs at any point so far this year. So I don't know if that's going to happen this year at all with a big power curve kind of move up with this promo, or if we're going to have any sort of mode mastery, swap system, mode mastery, anything like that from last year. But that just gives you a bit of a taste on how Black Friday could be and how good it could be. So we don't know a ton of specifics yet on this promo, guys. We're going to be talking more about it soon as we get more leaks. Of course, you think about it in terms of FC26, the tournaments would be a big part of it. Hopefully big evolutions, maybe some silver related content, since that's happening every season. We're getting a new season, by the way, at the start of Black Friday, the day before. So that's going to be a whole nother part of content that we'll be watching out for. Next week is going to be a huge week, but that's why we got to talk about what it means for right now. We're not there yet, but the hype is starting to build. And that's why I do believe you're going to see prices on the market potentially start to slide. Now, this kind of snuck up on me, I'll be completely honest, because we're not that far away from Black Friday. And usually with Black Friday, we get a Black Friday market crash, which is literally just panic before the promo because the content's always so good. People want to sell their cards because every year during Black Friday, prices crash. Now, sometimes on some cards, prices crash a whole bunch, then they go up after Black Friday. We'll talk about live cards, icons, heroes, and some of the other promo cards that we've had from earlier this year. But a lot of other cards come into Black Friday, drop a bunch, and never recover. So why do cards crash on Black Friday? Why do gold cards? Why do icons? Why do markets crash during this time of the year? It's all because the content is so good and because it's built up a reputation. Like this Black Friday market crash is something that's been talked about for years. Like we're going back to like FIFA, like 16, 17, 18, like that time of the year. I guess probably like 17, 18, 19 was peak Black Friday market crash videos, the Mad HD Gamer market crash videos, if you guys remember that. That's when that whole thing kind of started, but it started because the market did crash every single year around that time because the content is so good. So many new cards are released through EVOs, SBCs, and so many packs are opened. Now, when could this be starting is the question that you may be asking, and why are we talking about this today? We're talking about it today to try to get ahead of the curve a little bit. Now, as you know, the market so far in the last couple of weeks has already been dropping. Ousmane Dembele was 1 million coins literally 10 days ago. And right now he's 720K. You even look at the graph from yesterday, it looks like we might be started into a bit of a market crash right now. Pretty big drop-offs heading into today on Tuesday. It's not at the lowest point yet, guys. Don't even think for a second that we're near the bottom of this market crash because people aren't even starting to get that excited for Black Friday yet. It's just kind of the tip of the iceberg for the hype that will build up as a part of this promo. But what I want to show you is this is my video from last year after the crash started. Look at the date of this graph we're looking at. This video was released last year on this very day, the Tuesday before Black Friday. I guess a week and a half before Black Friday. You saw that was the day that Mbappe's gold card dropped from 2.7 mil down to 2.3. Now, different year this year, different prices for sure. But if you take a look at Mbappe's card, he was 1.8 mil to start the day yesterday, 1.85, somewhere in there. And now he's down into the 1.7s. Of course, last week he was 2.1. I still think there is a very large market crash that will be incoming for this market. I know, you look at the 14-day graph and you're like, Nate, Mbappe's already down a whole lot. Well, I wish I could go back and show you the graph of how much Mbappe was before this even, before he was down to 2.7. I believe he was even above that earlier in November last year. I do believe we are still going to have a very sizable market crash incoming in the next couple of days. I don't know if it's going to start today. We could actually have a market that goes up a little bit today, right? And I'm still trading here a little bit. I just bought this Yashin for 380, sold him for 425, but I'm going to start to be a lot more careful, especially with expensive cards, because one of the reasons that the market drops too a lot during this time frame is people want to sell to get out of cards, but less and less people are buying because they know, oh, Black Friday is coming. I don't want to be holding on to cards. And then that just drives the prices lower and lower, and that causes player prices to drop because less people are buying and some people want to sell, so it just becomes a huge panic sell fest. Now, what cards, like I said again, are going to be crashing? Most of your cards that are like 100,000 coins and above, I would be worried about the most. But also, you have to be worried about some specific cards. The Festival of Football Captains, I know they're in packs right now. They might be added to the re-release of cards coming to packs next week. Every year during Black Friday, we have a best of, actually two best ofs, a best of Team of the Week and a best of re-release, which the re-release cards will be Prime Times, Ultimate Screams. From all the promos we've had this year, EA will get a kind of a mixed up of them, like a assortment of them, and they'll put those back into packs. Now, not all of these may be re-released, like Holland might not be in packs, but Saliba maybe will be. So that's a thing too, where you see a lot of people sell these cards because they don't want to risk it until we know who is actually getting re-released. So that's a worry that we have there. Team of the Week cards, kind of the same thing. Your meta Team of the Weeks, like this Messi, even this Doku, even this Vitinha, probably the top three most popular cards from this Team of the Week. I know I was saying, yo, Doku is going to be a good investment, but the more that I think about it, the more that I would say I'd probably start to be very careful with that. You need an Evo for Doku in the next literally 3 or 4 days, and you need that card to go up for that Evo before he could potentially get re-released into packs next week and then drop a whole lot. And you do not want to mess with the supply that comes out during Black Friday when cards get re-released. Now, there will be great opportunities to trade, guys. Don't worry. It's going to be one of the best times of the year to make coins as well. But what I want to do today is just start to tell you guys about the Black Friday market crash that could start to be happening. You already see some of the dips on the market as we looked at there. So I want to kind of get you guys ahead of the curve there. I do believe if you take a look at the market right now and you look at the market a week from today, next Tuesday, when you look at the video, you're probably going to see that prices are a lot lower than what they are right now. So even if you're like, Nate, the card's already down, Mbappe's already down 100K, you're going to want to sell, in my opinion, because when you see the price next week, you're going to be like, yep, I'm glad that I sold. So that's what you can do right now is start to prepare. I know some of you guys have already been untradeable with your teams and not keeping any cards. That's very smart. But if you were trying somebody out or trying a couple of flips like I was, I think it's going to be a good day to take some sales. Now, granted, the market may not keep crashing today. We could have a little bit of a nice rise post weekend league rewards, and that could be a great time to get out on some cards before potentially some more prices crashing later on in the week. So I'm not trying to incite panic or fear at all. The market is going to drop at some point for Black Friday. It might be today that it would start. It might not be today. Now, how are some ways you can prepare? Because if you're selling some cards, you're getting some coins, you might be like, Nate, there's ways to make coins before Black Friday, right? There is. And usually it involves fodder, because right before Black Friday every year, and we're not going to dive too deep into the details just yet because we have tons and tons of discussion and stuff planned already to prepare for Black Friday as we learn more about it. But a lot of times EA drop SBCs, kind of like the 85 to 87 pack that we have right now. It's like an upgrade pack that we do. And of course, everybody starts saving packs for Black Friday, right? Because of everything that's going to be out. So nobody's opening packs, but we all want to get SBCs like this done to save the packs for Black Friday. What happens then, right? Your lower rated fodder that is needed for those starts to go up. 83s and 84s, I think, are good to start club stocking at minimum price for the 83s, 700 coins, and the 84s at 1,000. I think that's very solid. I think that's probably about as cheap as it's going to get into next week. You'll have another buy window this weekend with Foot Champs rewards, as there will be people opening those for sure. The other thing you can do is start to stock your club with some of these gold commons. I mean, take a look at like an 82 rated common Bauman from last year. Previous to Black Friday, he had a pretty big spike here. That must have been some sort of specific challenge SBC that made his card go up. But you even see in the days leading up to Black Friday last year, he went from like 600 coins to almost 1,000, which isn't a crazy rise, but probably in the heat of the flash SBCs that came out last year during Black Friday, this card probably went to like 2K, because there's flash SBCs that would be released every couple of hours, like for an hour, and you will have an hour to get a pack done, maybe like a tradable mega pack SBC, but you'll need an 81 rated squad, and you'll need players from a certain nation or league or something like that. There will be crazy fluctuations on the market on simple SBC cards like that, specifically like 80 to 82 rated cards from the top 9 nations in the top 5 leagues. So what you can do right now to get prepared for the flash SBCs would be start just going through and checking your club from, like, you know, even a low to high standpoint on gold cards. Like, okay, what do I have? A lot of Prem cards? Do I have a lot of cards from France? Do I have a lot of cards from Brazil? And honestly, right now you could just do, you know, like just the club stock on a lot of those types of players. If you want to really dive deep into it and try to figure out what players are going to go up a whole bunch and what players have gone up already this year from some of the challenge SBCs that we've had that have had higher chemistry requirements, you could go do some digging and some detail on that. But the best and easiest way to get your club stocked for stuff like this is do the daily common and rare gold upgrade packs. These are only out for a couple more days, but absolutely just do these, send it all to the club, fill up your storage as well with whatever cards you can, because we're just going to want to have as full of a club as possible heading into Black Friday for those types of SBCs. The last thing you could do is invest in some informs, because just like 83s and 4s will be needed, some informs will be needed as well. And if people are saving packs, well, you know, they're not going to be packing any informs either. So 11,000 coins for informs doesn't seem too bad for me. I'm not saying these are going to go to 20K, but if these go to like 13, 14,000 coins, you could make some profit and get yourself some informs to put into SBCs at the very same time. I think that's a low risk investment. Again, we're thinking kind of longer play here. A lot of times I like to trade short term stuff that's going to happen today, tomorrow. But I think this is more of like you're investing at the moment to watch and see what happens and to potentially make some coins next week with Black Friday incoming. So those are some of the ways you can prepare right now. Just watch the market today. I don't know if it's going to be like last year on this very date, the 18th, the 19th of November. I guess it's the 18th, but I don't know if you're going to see huge crashes like this. There's going to be a day before Black Friday where we see this. We'll just have to wait and see what day that is going to end up being. Now, we do have some more content coming today. Not all the content for this Captain's promo is over. Heck, I'll still be opening packs during this promo because I think the Captain's cards are pretty cool. I'll probably start saving my packs, though, for FC Pro Live, to be 100% honest. I think I will because those live cards, we'll trade with them. We'll make some coins with them, but yeah, I'd rather be saving my packs for Black Friday and give myself a full week of Foot Champs rewards, give myself a full week of Rivals and stuff like that, the tournaments and stuff we have to grind, save all of those. But content today on Tuesday, we have an interesting one here. A flashback Hugo Lloris, my former Spurs keeper, has official stats here on his card as a objective player. And if he's already got official stats as an objective card, I would imagine that it would be today, at the very latest tomorrow on this game. I don't know what sort of objective this is going to be for. I don't think there's any new live events or tournaments that are starting today. Everything is just related to the FC Pro as we looked at. We still have the Silver League that's going on. So I'm not entirely sure what objective this is going to be today, but a French goalkeeper, that's a very usable card in this game. 2 French back-to-back cards as flashbacks dropped, right, with Renard, and then this Hugo Lloris. The only card I'd be a little worried about right now would be Mike Magnan. I know he's got an inform that a lot of people use, and a lot of people use this card because he's a French goalkeeper inform. So even though this Lloris does not have a playstyle plus, allegedly, and he's only 85 rated, if it's going to be an objective and it's going to be free, that'd be something I'd be a little bit careful with, is the Mike Magnan card. So watch out for that one today. Also, maybe, I'm not going to say invest in this because, again, we're talking about a market crash, but watch out for your French cards. I think last year they dropped a couple of French players and SBCs and objectives right around this time too. And it made players actually like Koundé. I remember specifically, Koundé went up like 5K per card. He was like 20K last year and went up to like 25K or something like that because of the French players that were dropped. So if there's any demand for French teams, or if there's any specific like one nation stuff that is dropped and you see a lot of French cards like there are right now, potentially you could see some French players go up a little bit on the market. Other content that we watch out for today would be a new upgrade pack. The 83 plus times 3 expires. I'm going to get this one done, open it, and it'll be the last one that we can do. We'll get a new pack to replace this today for sure. I would 100% expect that. And as I said, we're coming in on the last couple of days here of these daily bronze, silver, common, and rare gold upgrade packs. Make sure you're hitting these every single day. That also means we're coming to the last day or so of the 85 to 87. We'll see if those refresh later on this week, but that's just one shout with SBCs that are expiring here very soon. And the last thing is Evos. There's not an Evo leaked on Twitter yet, but there's investors investing for one. Take a look at this Marcus Rashford, right? 3,600 coins yesterday, skying all the way up to 5,000 coins. He seems to be the only card when I look at the index that is having a rise as crazy as this, at least in terms of like a cheaper card. I don't see any other like left mids or like really low rated strikers that are doing crazy, but I bet there would be potentially some more cards moving if there is going to be a Evo coming out. So watch out for Twitter, whether that is a Evo that's coming today or in the next couple of days. Just watch out to see if there's any posts about that or any news about that one. But it is exciting times to look forward and look ahead to what is coming with Black Friday. It's just not quite here yet. So we're going to take a careful approach to the market today. I was actually looking at maybe just flipping a couple of like low tier cards. Here's my one tip. I'm going to be trading through this in the panic. There's going to be opportunities to buy cards that drop tons, drop loads, and then rebound a little bit. But just make sure you're trading with cards that are usually in a lower budget, because a lot of people who are on lower budgets, maybe the casual players, you may say, I'm not saying every lower budget player is a casual player, but some people will not know there's a huge market crash going on, and they'll just see like, oh, wow, this card's a card that I want to use for my team. And you might be able to trade with lower budget players a lot easier. It's a lot safer during a market crash like this. So I actually picked up one Saliba for like 23,000 coins with a Shadow Chem style, because I was like, I feel like at the very worst, I can sell this for like 27 today. And that's a good little trade that I could make in and amongst maybe a crashing market. So we'll be watching the market very close today. If there is crazy drops, again, I keep going back to this graph on Mbappe. I think here's another graph we looked at of this Modric from last year. Notice how Modric had this huge crash and then he rebounded. There's going to be opportunities to trade with out-of-pack special cards in these massive, massive price drops. But again, you got to see crazy drops. 614K, he went down under 500 to go back up to 550, as you see there. Whenever this day happens, we have all this crashing, there's going to be trades to be made. And it's fun. It's going to be an ability to make a lot of coins, but it's also going to be a bit risky because it's not something that you want to hold on to. Anyways, I'll stop yapping. I'll see you guys in the stream today. Watch the market, be very careful with it. And we'll see what content we get today as well for another day of Foot Captains. I appreciate you guys. If you enjoyed the video, drop a thumbs up on it, comment, leave any questions, and of course, subscribe if you're new. It's been TheFutAccountant. See you in the stream today. Peace out.